Hello, it's Victoria. I'm a 21-year-old chemistry degree apprentice based in Somerset, England, and I'm a very avid knitter. I've been really enjoying these knitting podcasts on YouTube lately, but I've noticed that a lot of them kind of focus on people's lives as well, and people post like vlogs and things. But I much prefer the more concise and kind of knitting based vlogs and podcasts. I also really enjoy talking about knitting. I really enjoy knitting, so I thought it would be nice to have a little platform. I've got a knitting Instagram as well, so you can check that out if you'd like to. This will follow the standard knitting podcast format, so finished objects, works in progress, and then yarn acquisitions and any other acquisitions as well. Let's start by talking what I'm wearing. So this is a Robinson wrap cardigan designed by Handmade by Florence or Florence Miller. I knitted this quite a while ago, so I might have to have a look in my little book. Yeah, it was literally like my 7th ever project. I knitted it in Landlust. I've got a little label in there. Landlust alpaca merino by Lana grossa in the colour 401. It's the alpaca merino 160. The yarn is just like a cream. It's a very true cream, slightly yellow, so you can really tell if you wear it with something that's like cool toned. They really clash, but it looks quite nice with like a white top underneath, so I wear it like that quite often, or just as a top. The pattern follows just a normal raglan construction, as you can see there. You knit it top down, kind of increase at the same time for the wrap around here. And then you do the ribbing at the bottom, knit the sleeves, there's ribbing at the bottom of the sleeves. And then you pick up for the button band, which is double knitted, and it goes by surprisingly fast. I think this was, as I said, it was my 7th ever knitting project, and I found it to be quite easy, and the pattern was really nice and clear, so it wasn't difficult at all. It also has this I-cord like little thing to tie it, so you can tie it around kind of underneath. That's what I usually do. I think you can do it on the outside as well, but I usually just do it, and there's like a little hole. So there's like a little hole that you put it through. I won't take it off because it is on my body. It is unfortunately one of these cardigans that are quite fitted on the sleeves, and I didn't realise that when I made it. You can clearly tell it from the photos, but I just kind of convinced myself that it would be fine and I could wear it over things, but it is definitely just something you wear like clothes. It doesn't look so great when you have it like undone. It's a bit annoying with the flappy like strings and things. It's definitely a top rather than a cardigan, but I do also wear it with a top underneath, just not like undone. Oh, I forgot to mention this is size C. You can also tell that I made this when I first started knitting because when I weaved in the ends they showed through there because I weaved them in. Like I could have just spliced them, but I had no idea that splicing was a thing at the time. I have to see it now, but I don't think you can really notice. It's a little bit visible, but it's not too bad. I still wear it all the time. Probably one of my most worn pieces of clothing. I wear it like at least once a week whenever I go to the office. It is like, it's kind of casual, but it's also appropriate for the office, and it's slightly elegant in a way, especially that I knitted it in a very neutral colour as well. It's not bright or anything, and it's very versatile. I really enjoy this piece, and I'm planning on possibly knitting a second one, maybe in a cashmere, maybe a bit more fancy since I wear this so often. This is in an alpaca, as I mentioned earlier, and it does get a little bit hot, so maybe something a bit easier to wear. It is a really lovely piece, and yeah, this is a little stack of my finished objects. Let's start maybe with the one that I finished first. It's been, I think, about a month since I finished this, but I went on a holiday, so I wore this on my way to Istanbul, and I wore it kind of in England and then on the plane and then getting off the plane, so it was through like a range of climates, I suppose. It's knitted in Knitting for Olive merino, a typical YouTuber sort of yarn choice, but I quite enjoy this yarn, colour Cloud. It's got this kind of pinkish undertone. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but it's not white, it's not cream, it's pinkish off-white. I'll show you compared to this one. You can kind of tell they clash a little bit. Really nice in English weather, not too hot, not too cold. I wore it out a few times and it's really wearable. In Istanbul, when it was about 30 degrees, I put it on in the AC'd hotel room and I was like, it feels a bit warm, like compared to a cotton t-shirt or something. So I did not wear this out apart from that day when we arrived. If you wear it in like a 25-degree weather, it's completely fine, which is what I will be wearing it for in the UK. The pattern, twist loop top by Other Loops. This was size medium and I did not make a gauge swatch. I kind of just went for it and I added a little modification, waist decreases. I believe the pattern does not have any, but I just decreased twice to like until the pattern matched up. So I believe it was like 20 on each side, so 40 I think. It kind of gives this tapered shape, so it like shapes to my waist rather than going straight down. I think I wish this was a little bit more fitted, so it doesn't have any ease, so it's neither negative nor positive ease, it's just kind of there. It's like perfect, which is not what I was going for, but I still really enjoy this piece. I think it's really beautiful. I forgot to talk about the construction. So you knit the straps separately and you join them, and then you just knit the whole top down. You join it there under the armholes and then you knit it in the round. The cabling is really easy. The pattern was very easy to follow. It was really nice. I also used a new technique because I've never done a provisional cast on before and I don't think I can tell where it is. It's come out really well. You do a double, not double knitted, just a folded collar. You've got like a pearl row at the fold so that it like folds naturally. And you can kind of see it, but it's also kind of nice. I think I did just a normal bind off. It wasn't a stretchy bind off or anything. I think that's what the pattern suggests and it is absolutely fine. I don't have any issues like putting it on or off. It doesn't flare out or anything at all. It's a very lovely pattern. The top itself is really nice to wear. The only thing, and I think a lot of people talk about this with these kind of tops, is that it's not bra friendly in terms of you can wear a bra with it, but the bra straps will show. So you need to bear that in mind. I usually just kind of deal with it and just wear one. With my yarn choice, I have to wear a nude bra because otherwise it shows. Like a white bra, just straight through, you can see it. But I suppose that's a thing with hand knitted like camisoles. I asked some people on my Instagram, like I posted a story about it, and I think most people said that they either just deal with it or they don't knit handmade tops. But I'm not going to do this latter, so I'm just going to deal with it. And yeah, that's the twist loop top. After I finished the twist loop top, I knitted this cardigan that was also before my holiday. This is my absolute favourite thing I have ever knitted. I've worn this so much since I've made it. It is an absolute staple in my wardrobe. So it's their step-by-step cardigan by Handmade by Florence. I think it's not meant to be oversized, but I knitted a size large, where I'd be a size medium. Yes, size D. I would be size C normally, but I did a size up. And then I knitted it slightly shorter than the pattern suggested, so I didn't use as much yarn because I wanted this kind of oversized but not too big kind of shape, and I achieved exactly that. It is absolutely perfect. I haven't buttoned it up all the way, but you can see they're all like greyish, blackish buttons. I used these ones from Amazon. And then I sewed them on with some sock yarn. But they're like this faux horn effect, which I really enjoy in buttons. They're just plastic though. It's honestly a lovely garment. It's knitted top down as a raglan. It's just a regular raglan. I don't think there's any other shaping on the shoulders. It is meant to be a beginner friendly pattern, so it really is that. There's not any fancy techniques apart from the double knitted button band, which adds a bit of complexity, but it also just makes it look really nice and polished. It's got just normal ribbing at the bottom, Italian bind off. The pattern itself, the kind of written pattern, gives a different description of how to make the buttonholes than the video that Florence has made to go with the cardigan pattern, and I would really recommend following the video because it kind of shows how to do the buttonholes really easily so that you don't have like a million ends to weave in, which I love because, as you can tell, my end weaving technique is not great. So this is knitted in Drops Alaska in the colour Pearl White. I think I used about 11, just over 11 balls of this yarn. They're 50 grams, so but yeah, just over 11 balls for that size. It is quite cropped. It hits me just around the waist. I think it hits me about the same as this one. You can see it's a very nice beige, as you can see, compared to this one. It's cool toned, but it kind of works with warm toned stuff as well. It's like a very neutral colour, which I really enjoy. Yeah, it is my favourite garment so far. Okay, next finished object is my oona sock. I only have one here, and this one's the only blocked one because as soon as I finished it, I just blocked it straight away. And then I've got the second one on my provisional sock blocker. I made it out of cardboard that I just kind of took a sock and then drew it on there, like put it on the side and then kind of took a measurement of my foot and then measured it and then drew it on there. It was a whole thing. It took me quite a while actually, but I've got two of these and they're absolutely perfect. I just didn't want to spend money on sock blockers, so yeah, just made my own. I've blocked quite a few socks on these so far and they're absolutely fine. They haven't gotten soggy because I put like tape and foil around them, so would recommend if anyone wants a sock blocker for free. Well, I suppose it was free because it was like scrap cardboard and scrap stuff. So this is the oona sock from the 52 Weeks of Socks book. I think everyone's talked about this book. It's the volume 1. I knitted size 2 and then my UK 7 foot size. So I slightly modified this. So I knitted a smaller amount of pattern repeats before I went to make the heel, just because I wanted them to be a little bit shorter. And I also didn't follow the heel flap construction. I just did the normal slip stitch heel, which is what I usually do, and just kind of carried on from there. This sock, the first sock I made a bit of a mistake when I was making the heel flap because I picked up the wrong number of stitches. Like I divided them wrong between my needles because I was looking at some other pattern. Then I couldn't be bothered to fix it because I already knitted the whole heel flap, and I realised after I picked up kind of the stitches from the side. So then I had to do like a bit of an decrease situation, so you can see that the pattern goes a bit funny. It's meant to look like this, but I don't suppose you can tell. If I hadn't pointed it out, you wouldn't be able to tell, really. I don't think it'll matter, really, so it's fine. And the lace chart itself is really easy to follow. I think it's an 8-row repeat, I believe. After 2 repeats of the chart, I kind of remembered it all, so it is really easy to just look at once and then you just knit the whole sock, apart from kind of some of the construction stuff. But if you know how to make a sock, then it's just a lace pattern you're really looking at. I really like the length of these. I haven't worn them yet because I made them recently. I blocked the other one like literally this morning. The yarn I used is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in the colour Marshmallow. I've already used that yarn before and it pills slightly, but not as much as a normal just wool would, because I've knitted a pair of DK socks in wool that didn't have any nylon in, and that one pilled horrendously. So this one pills only a little bit, and I only had to like shave those socks once, like last winter, so it was completely fine. Yeah, it doesn't really felt either, so it's quite nice. Or it hasn't felted so far, but I haven't worn them. Like I've only made them like this year, so we'll see how it goes. I'll update you guys later on. I forgot to mention these are knitted on 2.25mm needles, and they give quite a tight fabric. I'm a bit worried about this needle size. Previously, I have made a pair of socks. I think they're the Kigi socks, and those ones I've knitted in Drops Fable, and they make my feet so hot. Like they are the hottest socks. I think I'll love them in the winter because they're so warm, but they make me really sweaty, and I'm not sure if it is the yarn because it's a superwash and it might be due to the coating that's on the ball, or if it's the gauge tightness, because I've also made a pair of socks in like a 2.5mm needles and they're absolutely fine, and they're in this yarn, so I suppose it'll be kind of a good comparison because I've got one in 2.25 and one in 2.5. I'll let you know how these wear. I'll probably do like a video about socks at some point, but I haven't knitted enough to talk about them yet. Let's move on to my works in progress. So I've got another pair of socks from the 52 weeks of socks. I've already made one of these. I'll show you it in detail in just a second. The yarn I've used is this very nice grey merino from Yarnsmiths. It's the merino sock superwash. It's 75% merino and 25% nylon, which is just the standard. I haven't worn these yet. I haven't used this yarn before, so I'm not sure if it pills or if it pills any more than normal. I'll update you in the future, I suppose. So this is shade 2KO32. 2KO32. Oh my gosh, it doesn't wanna. Right, beauty guru motion. So 2KO32. It's this really pretty grey colour. It's just very cool toned and it is really shiny. The yarn itself, it makes really lovely fabric. It is incredibly soft. Like I think this is the softest knitted fabric I have touched before. I really recommend it just for the knitting kind of pleasure of it. And the sock itself is knitted top down, just as the oona socks. And you do this lace chart. So there's 3 different charts. There's A, B, and C. So A and C are knitted at the same time, so they kind of match up. They match the number of rows. And then chart B is a different number of rows, and it's different for the 2 sizes. And it's a little bit annoying because it kind of, they don't match up, so you can't really do it in your head, or at least I can't. I tried doing it for this sock and I really struggled and ended up making quite a few mistakes, so I had to rip it back a few times. I just decided to write it down, so I have to write like AC1 and then A and then B, I don't know, 7 or something. It's a little bit annoying and I wish the pattern was written so that they matched up a bit better, but I'm not really sure for what reason that is. My knitting friend who's done a lot of pattern editing said that it's a bit weird and they probably could have done it. I'm not sure if it is just the lace type, like kind of the repeats. I'm not sure. It's just annoying to knit, but it's really lovely. The finished product is absolutely beautiful and I honestly can't wait to wear them. I would really recommend this pattern if you don't mind writing things down and kind of not being able to follow the pattern just from your head. That's what my work in progress looks like. I think I've got about 2.5 pattern repeats, 2, 4, yeah, I'm on the 5th. So I think I need 1.5 more to finish this sock, and then just the toe. I forgot to mention these socks I did just a normal wedge toe because that's kind of what fits me best, and in these ones I think I did the same in the first one. I'm not sure if either of the patterns suggested something else, but that's just what I did, because I noticed that the shape of my feet just prefers that kind of construction. I've got a pair of socks that's knitted to the right length, but then the toe construction makes the sock a bit too short, and yeah, I just prefer this one. I knitted this on 2.5mm Addy needles, and they're the unicorn. So they're marketed as they massage your hands as you use them, because they've got like those little ridges in, like, they kind of resemble a unicorn horn. I'm not sure how much of that is placebo or if they actually do massage your hands, but I suppose they're a bit nicer to knit on than normal kind of Knit Pro needles that I used for other socks. And they've got this really pretty pink cable. I really like this shade of pink. Another thing about them is that this yarn is incredibly slippery. I think it's just the merino part of it, because the other yarns I've used haven't been that slippery. But it's perfect on these needles because they kind of provide a bit of friction because of the little ridges that they have on them, and it's not as slippery, so I quite enjoyed knitting them on these needles. My final work in progress is this April cardigan by Petite Knit. So let's talk about the yarn first. A strand of Drops Flora in the colour White Fog. This is a 65% wool and 35% alpaca blend, and then Drops Kid Silk mohair. I don't think it says 75% mohair and 25% silk. So this mohair is quite, okay, it's getting in my nose. I'm gonna put it down. This mohair is a little bit itchy. I'm not incredibly sensitive to wool, but I'm also like slightly sensitive around my neck and my back. Like, top of my back is insanely sensitive, but everywhere else I'm completely fine. I find that mohair slightly itchy, but I can wear it on bare skin, so it's okay. But I'm not sure how it will be with that cardigan. I hope it's not like it doesn't differ between colours and things, but we'll see, I suppose. I'll update you once the garment is finished. It doesn't fluff up in terms of, it doesn't lose the fibres as much as I thought it would, because I've knitted a piece before with like the purple colour in that mohair, and that mohair just went everywhere and I found it really annoying. I hope this one doesn't do that when the garment is finished, but it doesn't do it while knitting, so I'm enjoying the process a lot more because my clothes aren't just covered in mohair. The pattern, I think, is quite a popular pattern by Petite Knit, and it's got this saddle shoulder and then it goes into a raglan underneath the armholes, like under the arms there. And you kind of join it in the round, well, not in the round, you join it underneath with the back, and then you go back and forth as in a normal cardigan. I've got this much done so far. It's quite a quick knit considering that it's 5mm needles. My sizes are gone, but I'm not sure. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's a 4mm needle cardigan, so it's relatively quick. I'm not the fastest knitter because I haven't got that much time for it. I only knit kind of most evenings, some evenings, but I work full time and I've got other things going on. It's still a relatively quick knit. With that one, I'm planning to do a nice kind of neat double knitted button band so that it looks a little bit cleaner, because I've knitted one previously in this yarn from Shaw's. I only started knitting at the time, and I knitted it in this superwash merino and it pills horribly. I think I've worn this twice and it's already so pilly. I'm not sure if you can see, but I think you can see at the top how badly it's pilled already. Like, there's bits everywhere on it. It's really not a good yarn choice. And I also didn't knit it with mohair or anything. It's a little bit see-through as well. Like, you might be able to see my hand through it. I'm not sure with this light, but yeah, if I wear it on top of anything, like even a white t-shirt, like you can see the outline and the sleeves. Also, the sleeves are quite fitted on this. I think when I make this one, I'm not going to do sleeve decreases like I did on this one, or at least I'll decrease a lot less so that I have a bit more room, because I want to wear it over like long sleeve tops and short sleeve tops, so I can kind of have a bit of a thinner layer than my step-by-step cardigan. Also did a silly on this one, and I picked up the wrong number of stitches for the button band, and I only did like a normal, just a ribbed button band, just a typical cardigan one. And it's really a shame because the colour is really pretty and the buttons that I've added onto it are so lovely, but I just don't wear it because of those few issues I have with it. I think I might go back to it and fix the button band, do like a double knitted, or even just pick up the right number of stitches this time, just because when I wear it the fit isn't so nice because it bunches up in one place and then the buttons are uneven. It just doesn't look good when I button it up, so I can only wear it unbuttoned, and the fit of the cardigan, like the bottom of it, just doesn't look good unbuttoned. It's just not a piece I wear at all. I think I've literally worn it twice. It's like knit night or something when I just needed some like over layer. It's really a shame. I think that's all for my works in progresses. I'll talk about some of my yarn acquisitions now. So I mentioned before that yarnsmiths yarn, at the same time when I got that one I also bought the merino sock superwash. It's the same yarn, just in a beige colour. It's really nice greyish kind of colour. It's very cool toned. It's definitely not a warm beige. I think compared to cardigan, you can really tell. This is very neutral and this is a little bit greyer. Yeah, it's a really lovely colour. It's the exact same yarn, so I won't really go into it, but I haven't got any sock plans for this one. I think I'll just knit whatever I kind of see first with it. The socks, I don't really plan my yarn purchases. I just kind of buy it as I want to, but for fuller garment kind of quantities, I buy for a specific garment. Another yarn I've bought is the Cascade Yarns Heritage. It's also 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's exactly the same colour as this Yarnsmiths grey. So this is Lunar Rock, and this is, I don't know, it's a numbered colour, so as I said before, but I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, they are pretty much exactly the same colour. I think this one may be slightly more warm toned, but I genuinely can't see. They are pretty much exactly the same. I think this one's slightly tighter spun, but they might be like good dupes for each other. So the Yarnsmiths yarn I bought on offer for about £3-4 a ball on Wool Warehouse, so if they have more of those I would really recommend it as a dupe. I forgot to mention this is shade 2K060. I really like their number names. This is the most exciting yarn purchase, Noro Kureyon. It's this lovely kind of beige, greyish, self-striping yarn, but it goes through kind of like the shades like fairly slowly. It's not like proper stripes, so it's really nice. It's got very like a lot of colour variation, so there's very warm toned cream and there's very cool toned grey and beige in there. I'm slightly worried about knitting with this yarn because it's got so much thickness variation. Like you can see like really chunky bits in there. Like this could literally be a chunky yarn, and then you get like fingering weight bits in there. It's really interesting. It's not very tightly spun, but I hope it's not going to be an issue. I'm planning to make a step-by-step sweater in the autumn with this. I think I might hold it with a beige mohair. I was thinking about using this one. I'm not sure how they will look together. I will definitely swatch this time. I'm not a swatching person, but I think with the price of this yarn I really should. The Step by Step sweater handmade by Florence Miller. She knitted it in this Noro yarn, not this one, but some other one that got discontinued, and I really loved that colour, so I think this might be a really nice dupe for it. It's slightly lighter and it's more stripy. The other one was a bit more irregular, so I think this will be nice when I hold it with mohair. I actually managed to get this on offer. I think this has also been discontinued because everywhere had it on like a really good offer. I bought most of these, like the sweater quantity, from Wool Warehouse, and then I was like missing one, but didn't want to short myself, so I got one extra one from Lovecrafts, which was a lot more expensive, but I was like, might as well just have the right amount because I don't want to run out and then it being discontinued and me not being able to finish that sweater. It will probably not be an issue and I'll end up having that last ball of yarn, but I'd rather not play the yarn chicken like that. I've got some more yarns I forgot to take out. I lied, I've got more yarn purchases. That was not the last one. At the same time as I bought that knitting for olive merino in colour cloud for my twist loop top, I also bought some more so that I wouldn't have to pay so much for shipping. I bought a camisole quantity of unicorn purple and soft blue, and they are really, really lovely. I think both of them are going to look really pretty with my skin tone. These are 100% extra fine merino. I think this is a very popular yarn, so everyone's heard about it by now, but these shades were really calling for me. So this soft blue, I think I will use it for Florence's upcoming pattern, the twisted rib or the mixed rib camisole or something. I'm not sure, but I've been waiting for that pattern. I will definitely use it for that one. I think this colour will look really nice with it because I wear a lot of those kind of tops with like a boat neck and then sleeveless, so, and it looks very like office appropriate but also casual, so it is very much my taste. I'm about to cast on in this yarn the unicorn purple. I'm going to use that for a square neck camisole by Garnock Slicked. It's also a very popular pattern. I think it was her first ever pattern. I haven't knitted it yet, but I will update you probably in the next episode about how it is knitting. I'm really excited for those two. One thing I want to mention about Knitting for Olive Merino, or just any of their yarns, I've purchased these directly from their website. I live in the UK, and yarn shops sell it a lot more expensive than you see the price on their website, and I thought it was just because they add that margin on top of their yarn, but turns out that if you try to buy the yarn directly from Knitting for Olive, as soon as you get to the checkout, like when you're about to pay, they add customs onto each ball of yarn, so you end up paying more than kind of the retail price, and you pay it per ball, not per order, which is quite annoying because I thought I found a hack on buying it a bit cheaper, but turns out no, and it came out about maybe like 50p or something, with the shipping less than like a yarn shop in the UK would sell. So I don't know, it might be worth it, might not. I'm hungry. It might be worth it, it might not be, but yeah, that's what I've done. I think in the future I'll probably buy it from a yarn shop depending on their availability, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.